Today we will be driving around Laguna Niguel, one of my favorite cities in Orange County, and it's one of those cities that are severely underlooked, at least in my opinion. It's not one of the ones that where you talk to buyers and they're like, yep, I want to live in Laguna Niguel. They sort of start to discover it and realize that it's actually a pretty good option. For example, it has some of the best public schools in the county, similar to Irvine. It's actually a very close rival to the public school system that they have in Irvine. And a lot of people move to Irvine for the public schools, and Laguna Niguel has some of the best. On top of that, it is the fourth safest city in the entire state of California. And if you're wondering, 7 of the safest cities in California are all in Orange County. So it's no wonder that people are starting to choose Orange County over neighboring counties like San Diego, Riverside, and LA, for example. Now, when we talk about the housing market here, what's been going on in Laguna Niguel? So we have seen similarities to all of Orange County, where we have days on market increasing over double. We started the year in just 9 days. That's when a house was getting into escrow. And now we're approaching 20 days on market before a home gets into escrow. Now that is still considered a seller's market, but we are starting to creep up into the neutral market territory. Now do note, days on market is a pretty delayed data statistic. I wouldn't be surprised if this is closer to 30 by the end of the year. Now the median sales price has dropped substantially. We peaked around 1,450,000 and we are now down over 100,000, with the average sales price sitting at $1,320,000. Now active listings, similar to most of Southern California, has been increasing almost every single month. We started the year at just around 90 and now we're about 160 homes on the market. Now over the last 3 months, new listings have been going down, but so has buyer demand, which is what has kept the active listings continuing to increase. So buyer demand has been dropping slower than the number of new homes coming to the market. And that is showed in pending sales, which has been decreasing every single month. Around halfway through the year, pending sales was 190, and now we are down to 130. So that's a pretty good drop in buyer demand, but it's not as low as most of Orange County. So that's a pretty good indication that more buyers are considering Laguna Niguel compared to the average of all of Orange County. Now, I have done a lot of business in this city, and in my opinion, it is one of those places that I think more people should consider, because they don't realize that it is rivaling the school districts of the best in Orange County. And in my opinion, dollar per square foot value, this is a better deal than Irvine, for example. Yes, you have the median sales price roughly the same, but there are a lot more larger homes in Laguna Niguel, and it has more of those luxury communities compared to a lot of other neighborhoods and a lot of other cities in all of Orange County. But what I do like about this area is you have your entry-level one-bedroom condos for $500,000, but then you have your luxury communities like Monarch Point Estates, where you have $10-15 million homes with stunning ocean views, and you don't have the foot traffic like you would have in Laguna Beach or Dana Point, for example. So it's very secluded. It's a very quiet city. There's a lot of parks, a lot of activities to do, and it's pretty centrally located as far as Orange County goes. You're about 15 minutes from the beach, depending on where you are, and there's just a lot to do here. And the fact that it is the 4th safest city in California, you see a lot of bikers, a lot of kids riding around on their bikes, going for walks. It's a pretty nice family-oriented city, similar to a few others that you would have in Orange County, like Aliso Viejo, for example, Irvine, Mission Viejo. Laguna Niguel sort of fits into that vibe with all of those cities. So the first house we're looking at today is a single family home, and they actually just dropped the price by $100,000. It's now on the market for $1.9 million. We're going to try to compare 3 different homes today. Hopefully we can get into the last one, but the second one we're going to look at is a little condo, and then the last one is in one of those more expensive communities for $3.5 million. So you'll see 3 completely different price points, and you can get an idea of kind of the entry-level condo home to the sort of the type of house that people are upsizing to, which will be this first one that we're taking a look at. And then the final home will be that higher price point, higher net worth individual who's going to be moving to communities like that. So we are on Niguel Road approaching the first home, and this is one of the more popular roads that you'll get in Laguna Niguel. It kind of drives a little more inland and then a little closer to the coast, but doesn't quite get to the beach. Now, as far as what type of communities you get in Laguna Niguel, not many of them will be gated. It's more the higher end homes that will be gated, like you have Monarch Point Estates, you have Bear Brand as an example of gated communities with higher priced homes, as well as some condo townhome communities where you'll get a gate with a sort of lower priced HOA that makes up for it. So this first home is a 3-bed, 2.5-bath, single-family home, just under 1,700 square feet. Brief overlook of the neighborhood right here. And what I love about this house is that it has 11,000 square feet of land. And with that, you get a huge and pretty usable front yard, at least in my opinion. Curb appeal is huge right now, and having a nice front yard makes a pretty big difference. Coming in here, you'll notice hardwood floors, and I will say the lighting in here is pretty nice. There's a little skylight up there. Opening into the backyard now, you do have somewhat of a view here in Laguna Niguel. It's very difficult to get, I would say, mountain, hillside views, but at least you don't have a house right in front of you like a lot of homes in Orange County and particularly in Laguna Niguel. Pretty good sized side yard, and these countertops are actually granite. I thought they were stone initially, but they are granite, and it's pretty cool to find color like this. Not everyone will like them. Some people will want to completely replace them, but I think it's a good contrast between the green and the dark wood features. Darker wood is something that you'll notice in homes that were remodeled probably 10 to 15 years ago. And here in the first guest bathroom, again, you have that green finish similar to the kitchen. This is one of the bedrooms. That's a very small room. I would say it's more of an office. I wouldn't really put anyone in there to sleep. This is the primary bedroom, full bathroom. Something you'll notice is that this bathroom is very narrow, which a lot of people won't like. But again, it is nicely updated. Not many changes you'd want to make there. And the primary bedroom, probably a little smaller than most people would want, but I like that the opening is into the backyard. Now, the next one we're going to look at nice is a 2-bed, 2.5-bath, but it's a condo and around 1,000 square feet. So the house we just saw was $1.9 million. Now, I will say dollar per square foot, that is a little on the high end for Laguna Niguel. It is above the average, right around $1,100 a square foot. But the next one we're going to take a look at is a $745,000 condo. So I think it will be a great comparison between what you can get for less than $2 million and what you can get for under $1 million in Laguna Niguel. This will be sort of the first-time home buyer, or maybe the one who just wants to get closer to the coast and pay a little more of a premium to be in a city like Laguna Niguel. Now, something to note about condos and townhomes in this city in particular, and most of Orange County, is the HOAs have gotten a little higher. So this one has 2 HOAs and they total around $585 a month. Now, with that, that's a good thing to know about most of Orange County. I would say 90% of condos and townhomes here is the HOA covers exterior maintenance. So roof issues, any stucco issues on the outside, the HOA is more often than not responsible for that. For example, I had a client close on a townhouse in Mission Viejo. Within the first month, they discovered exterior termite issues and a leak from the upstairs neighbor's patio, and the HOA did fix both of those. So that's a good thing to know. You're not just paying an HOA for the pool, hot tub, and any tennis courts or pickleball courts that the community has. It does actually cover work that needs to be done specifically for the exterior. Now, that does also mean your insurance policy is covering the inside. So typically your insurance will be less expensive for a condo and townhome compared to a single family home. Most people I talk to are not aware of that, so that's just a little sort of education tip for you if you're looking or shopping for condos and townhomes in Orange County. All right, this is the road driving up to this condo. Let's take a look at this community, La Vista. I have been here, but I haven't been here for about 6 months. Nicer HOAs demand a higher monthly payment, which is why the monthly on this community is almost $600 a month. As far as the amenities in this area, there are no courts that I believe of, so no tennis or pickleball courts. You do get a pool, hot tub, a clubhouse, and I believe there's a poker room, which is kind of cool. You don't see that too often. The nice thing about this unit is it does have a premium in the building itself because it is a corner unit. You only share one wall. Now, however, it does have a detached garage, so you have to park on the other side and then walk into your home. The kitchen is what you would expect for a little 2-bed, 2.5 bath, granite countertops. You'd probably want to update it at some point in the future, but very spacious living room, a lot of natural light, which is pretty nice. And you do get a view off of your patio, which you can enjoy a morning coffee or your breakfast on the patio here. It's a pretty quiet neighborhood. There isn't really any road noise, and there isn't any planes or anything like that flying above your head, so you can likely leave your windows open throughout the day more often than not. Now, going upstairs, you'll notice it is carpeted on these stairs. Some people like it, some people don't, and you do have luxury vinyl plank flooring throughout the entire home. This is technically the primary bedroom as it has a slightly larger closet as well as the green belt view. That's a pretty nice view for a condo that only costs $745,000. This is your bathroom here, only one sink, but it does have a standing shower. Now you could sort of call this a dual primary bedroom because both bedrooms do have an ensuite bathroom, which is a pretty nice feature. Oftentimes you'll just have a 2-bed, 1.5 bath, where the second bedroom. So that was a 2-bed, 2.5 bath, your entry-level condo townhome style that you would typically get in Laguna Niguel, and I do think that is priced pretty well. It's very spacious. Someone may want to update the bathrooms, but they may not necessarily need to. But I think that would be a good opportunity for a first-time homebuyer that wants to get the advantage of being in Laguna Niguel. Now, the next one we're going to take a look at is another completely different type of home. It's on the market for $3.5 million, and it's a little over 3,000 square feet. So dollar per square foot, again, a little on the higher end, but I have sold a $4.8 million home in this exact same community. And I will say the one I sold had an incredible ocean view. This one has no view. It's actually tucked away in the back corner of the community, not on the ocean facing side, but this community, Monarch Point Estates, is one of the higher end neighborhoods that you'll get in Laguna Niguel. It's sort of on the border of Laguna Beach and Dana Point, but you get some incredible view homes in this specific community, as well as one of the ones that are further down the hill, Bear Brand. But Monarch Point Estates, Monarch Point Custom, there are some breathtaking homes in this neighborhood. We're driving down Pacific Island Drive, approaching Monarch Point Estates. On this road, you'll typically see a lot of bikers and hikers walking up and down. It's great exercise, and there is a park next to this neighborhood called Badlands Park, which is probably top 5 sunset walks, trails in all of Orange County. The hike goes around the hill. You can see San Clemente from it. It was probably, I would say, 35 minute walk to get to the end. And then going back, I recommend not walking when it's pitch black because it might be a little difficult to see. But along this trail, you have your $10, $15 million homes that are all right next to you. And again, this is one of the most luxurious neighborhoods in Laguna Niguel. This is actually the street where I had my listing and sold it earlier this year. But the first half of this street are all standard homes. They're tract homes built by the same builder. And the last, I think, 5 or 6 on the cul-de-sac here is actually where my listing was, and it's a custom built home. Now you'll be able to tell the difference almost immediately as we're approaching these last few homes. And as you can see, starting right now, they are different than the ones that we just drove by. So right here is the house that I sold. right ahead of us. And now let's go take a look at this home for $3.5 million. So as we're driving up this road, on the left, that is ocean facing. So on the right is the back end of the street where you won't really get any ocean view. I think occasionally these homes on the right will have a peekaboo ocean view, but the ones on the left do have stunning ocean views, and that overlooks the Badlands Park. So this is a 4-bed, 3-bath home, just over 3,100 square feet, and the lot size a little under 6,000 square feet. But look at the overview of this neighborhood. Absolutely spectacular. The entrance of the home is nicely landscaped. Now the issue you might have with this home is that because the lot is only 6,000 square feet, the front yard will likely take up a lot of that, as you'll see with the backyard. Entering into the house, we have an office, bonus room downstairs. In the main living room, you'll notice everything is very white. Now, what I do love is the high ceilings, and that is what you would expect from homes in this neighborhood. You have an enormous amount of windows that brings in a lot of natural light, and going through to the backyard, you'll see what I'm talking about. It is a lot smaller than what I think most people would expect for a $3.5 million home, but it is very private. That's at least a nice feature. You have the trees covering you from the road. Entering into the kitchen, we have quartz countertops here. This looks like it was somewhat newly remodeled, I would say within the last 10 years. That's a nice feature. I love the open floor plan that this has been made into. I don't believe it is original, at least in my opinion. I think they probably opened it up and made it more of an open floor plan rather than the closed off dining living room that you would have got with homes built in the 90s. Let's go straight to the primary bedroom here. Look at that opening in the hallway with those windows, brings in a lot of natural light. Again, a huge feature that you'll notice with this particular home. You have a fireplace in the primary room. That's a nice bonus. Most homes will not have that. Oftentimes you'll just get one fireplace in the living room. Now I do want to talk about this bathroom quickly. I'm not sure why they chose black tile. This is something that I imagine whoever buys this house is probably going to completely gut and put in a nice standing large shower with a larger soaking tub and probably not have black tiles. That is not something you see very often. At least in my experience, I don't see that often at all. Let's go take a look at the guest bedrooms. You have a little room on the left here. This room looks a little darker. There's only one window, unfortunately. But again, most of the house has a lot of window space, bringing in that natural light. A nice little guest bathroom here, not the biggest one. Another guest room here to the right, and the room to the left is technically a spare living room or bonus room. It's set up as a games room. Unfortunately, this is the room that So my opinion of that house, real quick, is I think it is overpriced. I don't think anyone is going to pay $3.5 million for that. The kitchen is really nice, but in my opinion, the rest of the house needs to almost be completely gutted. I would think that is more like a $3 million home, and that's borderline pushing it, seeing as the backyard was pretty small and there isn't really any view from the primary bedroom. Unfortunately, that little living room area is the room that has the view. So that's kind of unfortunate, but I think that's a typical seller wants premium for a house that is probably not worth premium. And I've dealt with sellers like that before, and unfortunately it just takes time for them to realize that. But I hope you enjoyed exploring Laguna Niguel, taking a look at 3 completely different types of homes, ranging from your entry-level first buyer to your middle of the range, upsizing from a condo townhome to a single family home, and then higher range $3.5 million, even though it's probably not going to sell for $3.5 million. But that is a good comparison between different neighborhoods in Laguna Niguel. I hope you enjoyed this style of video talking about the housing market. Once again, my name is Iain Phillips. I'm a local realtor here in Orange County. If you have any questions about what is going on here, no matter what city you are looking in, and if you're buying or selling in Orange County, reach out. I'd love to chat, see if I can help, and I'll see you in my next video.